Hello and welcome to the show. I am Joe Tophat. For many years, there has been talks of an animated Ghostbusters movie. Before he died, Ivan Reitman, who directed the first two live-action movies, wanted to make an animated movie from the perspective of the ghost. Recently, the website Ghostbusters News has shared news of what looks like to be an unproduced animated movie. There isn't much information on what it would have been about, but a few images were shared. In today's video, I'm going to share these images and give my opinion on whether or not it would have been a great movie. So without further ado, let's begin. The source of these images comes from the artist Michael Korinsky, who uploaded them on his ArtStation page. The first two images are caricatures of Dan Aykroyd and Bill Murray as Ray and Peter. Sadly, there's no Egon and Winston. Both are very good likenesses of the actors. I'm not sure if either image is in any way related to the cancelled animated movie, but I do like these. As caricatures for a magazine, for a movie, I don't know if I'd like it as much. I would rather see Dan Shonen's art from the IDW comics used for an animated movie over this. Heck, I'd rather see the designs from the real Ghostbusters used. I guess I just prefer the idea of the Ghostbusters looking more like real people and not as caricatures. That's just me. Maybe they are part of this movie, but I really don't know. If I'm going off of Ghostbusters news alone, it looks like they would have been, but again, I'm not really sure. The reason why I'm so uncertain is because of this next image. This looks like it was supposed to be the movie poster. It shows three ghosts and a goblin as Ghostbusters. Objectively, they are designed well. The only issue I have is that they feel more like characters from a Pixar movie than Ghostbusters. Now, don't get me wrong, I love Pixar, but I don't think their style works for Ghostbusters, because it just looks way too clean to me. And when I think of Ghostbusters, I don't think of clean. I think of dirty, at least when it comes to the designs. Now, obviously, judging by this poster, the movie was meant to showcase ghosts as Ghostbusters. Frankly, I hate it. The concept behind Ghostbusters is that they're ordinary guys going up against the supernatural, namely ghosts, hence the name. They're not superheroes. They don't have superpowers. They are just regular guys running a business where they capture ghosts. Basically, they're ghost exterminators. What makes Peter, Ray, Egon, and Winston so relatable is that they're just normal guys doing a job and running a business. They are the anchor to the real world. Making ghosts as Ghostbusters defeats the whole point of Ghostbusters. Why would Ghost even want to bust Ghost? Now, before anyone says anything, yes, I know Slimer helped capture Ghost in the real Ghostbusters. How could I not know that? I watched the show religiously as a kid. The main difference there is that Slimer was more like the Ghostbusters mascot or pet. I recommend you check out my Spooks of Ghostbusters video for more information on Slimer. Or check out the episode Citizen Ghost for the reason why he's with them. Long story short, he saved them from the spectral Ghostbusters, and he's a great test subject for Egon and Ray. I don't think making the Ghost as Ghostbusters would work because it didn't work on the real Ghostbusters. You see, when the show was rebranded as Slimer and the Real Ghostbusters, a lot of fans hated it. Most fans felt that Slimer worked better as a mascot than as the central focus of the show. I'm not basing this on my own bias, because I actually love Slimer and the Real Ghostbusters. I watched it a lot as a kid, and to this day, I still enjoy watching it. With that said, how I feel about Slimer and the Real Ghostbusters doesn't matter. What matters is that most fans hated it. So that's why I don't think this movie would have worked. Especially since they're not Peter, Ray, Egon, and Winston. Now, the first two images with Ray and Peter might indicate that the Ghostbusters are in the movie, but I don't think they were meant to be a central focus. I think the central focus was to be on these ghosts and Goblin, rather than on the Ghostbusters. And I don't think that would have worked out in the end, because most people want to see Peter, Ray, Egon, and Winston. I think in general, these ideas for Ghostbusters spin-offs are bad, because they don't center around the four main Ghostbusters, or people who know them or are related to them in some way. The reason why Ghostbusters Afterlife worked so well is because it's centered around the death of Egon. This was done as the result of the real-life death of Harold Ramis. Many of us had a strong attachment to Egon, and by extension, Harold. When Harold died, it was like we lost Egon. Afterlife did a great job exploring that. I loved seeing the ghost of Egon interact with his family as well as the others. It felt like we got closure. These characters don't have that advantage. Also, what made the Ghostbusters work is that it takes place in the real world. These characters look like they're in a different dimension. To be fair, the cartoon, video game, and IDW comics did have the Ghostbusters travel to different dimensions. It's just that for the most part, they stayed in the real world. To be fair, I don't know if this movie was meant to be that ghost perspective movie that Ivan Reitman wanted to make so badly. It might have been, it might not have been, I don't know. From what I understand, and you can correct me if I'm wrong in the comment section, the animated movie that Ivan Reitman wanted to make was to show the ghosts getting busted by the Ghostbusters and tell the story from that ghost perspective. And I actually do kind of like that idea. It was done briefly in the IDW comics, though it was just a supplement story. And Ghostbusters Spirits Unleashed does have a feature where you can play as a ghost. So in a way, that idea was used. Honestly, even if this movie was Ivan Reitman's idea, I'm grateful we didn't get it. Though, to tell you the truth, I would have rather have this than the 2016 movie. Now, an animated Ghostbusters movie, as far as I know, is on the way. I don't have any information on what it's about. I just hope whatever it is we do get is good. Thanks for watching. Let me know in the comment section what you guys think. And don't forget to like and subscribe. See you later.